Hi everybody, I'm here for another video. We're here because of this. Let me get my watercolor pouch. You've seen this if you've watched some of last month's videos, I guess, but you've seen this little watercolor palette. It's the Zen Art Supplies, and it's their little, what is it, 12, 4, 8, 12, yeah, travel palette that's in the size of an Altoids tin, and I put this little plastic card in here to blend, and then you can also, I put magnets on the back of this, so if you want to use that as a mixing space as well. So you've seen this, and I was sent this and I was really intrigued by it, so I wanted to look at one of their larger palettes. And like it says aspiring artist watercolors. So they're student grade. They're not as nice as the Owen or some of the other brands that I have, but they're just a good. Oh, it comes with a flat brush, a number 3 flat brush. I've got some flat brushes, but I don't use them. I might give it a try and see what we think of it. It comes with a aqua brush. Let's see. And it also has this brochure showing you all of their travel. The Espresso, the Allegro, the Sereno, which is what we have here, and then the Prezio. I guess it's a number 5 round water barrel brush, and then a number 3 flat synthetic. And it has these little areas for mixing. 6 little areas, not bad. And some more information about their brushes and all of that stuff. Okay. That didn't come with the little kit because, I mean, it's so tiny. A little thank you note. And then it comes with and that's what I like, is it's watercolor paper. It has a little bit of a texture. So we'll swatch on that. Oh, I like this. There's a plastic to prevent if these are wet from things going places. I like that. That's nice. But we'll try their flat brush. I have 2 little jars of water here. One for dirty, one for clean. I've got a paper towel or not a paper towel. I do have a paper towel, but I have this washcloth. I got it at, I think, a Hilton hotel. Oops. I've had it for a long time, but we're gonna do some swatches. Some of these colors are, yes, in the little 12 palette, but not all of them. I went with this palette over the others because it had, it has like more greens and browns and stuff like that in it. So here's the Hansa Yellow. So here's the Yellow Ochre. The next color is Orange. Permanent Red, which actually is in the other little palette. All 4 of these are in that little palette. The next one is Magenta. Now this isn't in my other little palette. This is a new color. Next is lilac. Purples are a hard color to do in watercolors. So we'll just kind of, actually not too bad. Cobalt violet. Now it doesn't say cobalt violet hue, so is there really, ooh, that's pretty. That's a pretty color. This is violet. Ooh, I need a little water. I think I dried off the brush too much. Ooh, that's pretty. Now this color is in the other palette, but it's a pretty purple. Now we have aqua blue. So let's see what this looks like. I think this is in the other palette. Blue. Manganese. Okay, ultramarine. I love using ultramarine in my skies. Let's see what happens if we add a little bit of water to that. So we can get like a, see, it's such a pretty blue. That is in the other palette. Now we have ultramarine violet deep. This isn't in the other palette. So it's like the ultramarine, but if you look, it has a little bit of like purpliness to it. See the difference between the two? If I can see the difference, and I can, then it means it's going to be a lot easier for other people too. It's pretty Prussian blue. I've always loved this color. I've always loved Prussian blue. Now here is indigo, another one of my favorite. Oh, they got a hooker's green over here, deep. Payne's gray. Payne's gray I like to use over using a black. This mint, one of the ways where they get these kind of like mint green colors is one way they can is by adding white, some sort of like a titanium white or zinc titanium, one of those type, cobalt green, and it doesn't say hue, so I'm assuming that really means that cobalt is in there. That's a really pretty, it's kind of like a grass green, phthalo green. You can take phthalo green and mix it with like a Hansa yellow or a lemon yellow or a yellow ochre and get like a really nice green for foliage. Because phthalo green to me is a bit like, not neon, but it's quite bright. And this emerald green is quite common in palettes these days, and it might be called like viridian, I think, is that what it is, which I don't use. That's a color I don't know if I would want in a palette. That's probably the first one I'd take out. Because you can mix that green if you know how, with the right yellows and blues. But, ooh, this is a pretty color. This chromium oxide, it is gorgeous. See that? That is a wonderful color for trees and bushes and grass and fields. Here's raw sienna. This was not in the little 12, neither was that. There's some really nice colors in here. Here's warm sepia. Which actually looks like a really nice milk chocolate color. This raw umber. There we go. So those are our 24 colors in the Sereno set. And it says 24 half-pan watercolors, 2 brushes, a number 5 round water barrel, and a number 3 flat synthetic red sable. Extended palette to calm and relax mood colors, suitable for any subject, especially a landscape, seascape, and nature. Mixing areas, sponge for better water control. Color swatch on watercolor paper with color names. Splash guard for keeping it clean during your trip. That's what they call this, the splash guard, which is a really nice thing. I'm gonna grab one of my little scraps of paper. So I grabbed one of my little scraps of paper. I always have leftover pieces from when I'm making passport and standard size inserts out of watercolor paper. I do that just so, you know, I don't feel like I'm wasting anything, and I can always use it as a test for ideas or colors or blending. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to paint with no pencil, just a brush and the colors, and I've got one of my snap brushes by Princeton, and I think that one is the number 2 brush. It's one of the smaller ones, and I just drew a line, and now I'm doing some brush strokes to put some leaves on the stem. And I like using these little pieces to practice using my brushes more, just to try to, you know, get varying weights and lengths of strokes, and just, you know, using the colors and the paints. And I decided I should put an odd number of leaves on that because I don't know why. And that's that chromium oxide color. All I did was mix some of that with some water and put it in one of those little trays. And now I pulled out the little palette because I wanted some of the gamboge color. It's kind of a deep golden, deep yellowish, orangish. It's really a mix of the Hansa yellow and the orange is what that is. But it's a pre-mix, so it's a lot easier, so I don't have to, you know, spend time mixing. And that's one of the things that's nice about these sets that have these 12 or these 24 colors is, you know, you have some of these convenience mixes already done. I did want to use the Hansa yellow by itself as well. And so what you're going to see here is one of my typical kind of, I guess, not sunflower. I don't know what type of flower it is. It's a summer flower that looks like a sunflower. Yeah, I guess you could call it a sunflower. And I'm just mixing some of the yellow and some of the gamboge, or at least a lot of it watered down so I can use it here on the flower that I'm painting on this little scrap of of paper. And it just lets me see how these new colors work. That right there is the, I think it's the raw umber, raw sienna. I can't remember which color it is. I don't have it in front of me as I'm editing right now. I just wanted to make sure I had some of that, and then I wanted to make sure I had some of the like darker umber. Maybe it was a burnt sienna, I don't know. So here I am just using that same number 2 brush, and I'm taking some of the Hansa yellow, and I'm doing these kind of like ovalish petal shapes. I'm doing, you know, one on each side of the stem, and, you know, they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be the same size. They don't have to be the, you know, the same length. And then I do another one on the far right of the flower, and then another one on the left. And you'll see that there's like this center section where there's no petals. And I'm going to put the little, if you look at like a sunflower, it has that big eye with what ends up becoming all of the seeds. And so I'm taking some of the lighter color, which I think is, it's not yellow ochre, it's a raw sienna or something like that. And so I'm putting some of that down, and then I put a little bit of water on my brush. I clean it, put some water on it, and kind of, you know, fix the petals of the flower I want. And then I get some of the gamboge on it, and I kind of just sort of flick it in the middle of the flower petals. And I clean my brush off, I let it dry a little bit, put a little bit more on. Of course, this is, you know, sped up quite a bit, so it did take some time. And then I kind of wet my brush, and I think I then kind of move those two colors a little bit more together, just to give the flower petals a little bit more depth. And then I go in for that darker color and just kind of dot it all around and finish up the top of the flower. So the voiceover is almost over, and John will be back soon. Enjoy the music. And there you go. You have a cute little, what is it, sunflower? I don't know. Some sort of a yellowish flower that you can turn into a bookmark. That's something that I do with them. Like in my personal planner. Somewhere in here, I thought I had one. Like here I got one where I was first practicing brush strokes with aqua brush. I think I have some more. Like here. These were done with the little palette over there. A little daisy, just sort of a, I didn't like the way the shape of the flower was going, so I did that with it. And all of these greens were mixed with the blues and yellows and oranges in here. But yeah, see? I think I like that one the best. I love the colors in the purple. I have no idea what flower that is. But there you go. Just a simple little flower that you can paint for yourself. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and let me know if you had, oh no, did I get watercolor on the back of my notebook? Okay, I think it's dried. Let me know if you have any questions about the paints, my flower, anything like that. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.